We're looking at the most memorable deaths in the Adult Swim series Rick and Morty, so be prepared for spoilers.
But most importantly, you gotta relax.
Number 10. Davin.
Well, I'm glad we saved all those horses.
Davin might be a minor character, but he is one handsome horse surgeon. Since he works alongside Beth, he is constantly hitting on her and making Jerry jealous.
I love being in that sterilized room, sealed off from the world. It's the only time I can really think and feel.
Fortunately, we guess, Davin quickly falls out of love with Beth and in love with Morty, thanks to a love serum created by the youngest Smith. But don't worry, Davin soon transforms into a mantis monster due to the serum's antidote. Jerry naturally sees this as his one chance, so he kills Davin with a crowbar. And a terrible joke.
You're not Morty.
No, I'm Mr. Crowbar, and this is my friend, who is also a crowbar.
And we gotta be honest, it's really cool to see Jerry man up. It's just too bad we don't get to see badass Jerry again for quite some time.
Looking for this? What are you doing with that? It stinks of Rick.
Number 9. Krombopolis Michael.
Hi, Morty. I'm Krombopolis Michael. I'm an assassin. I buy guns from your grandpa.
Most contract killers keep their chosen profession hush-hush, but this alien assassin's a bit of an oddball. What with his business cards, social media accounts, and constant talk about his love of killing.
I have no code of ethics. I will kill anyone, anywhere. Children, animals, old people, doesn't matter. I just love killing.
As is to be expected, not everyone agrees with his line of work, namely Morty. The idealistic youngster sets out to keep Krombopolis Michael from fulfilling his latest contract, only to accidentally run him over.
You have arrived at Krombopolis Michael.
Seeing this top-tier assassin getting crushed by a kid who doesn't even know how to fly is shocking, but that just makes it funnier. What's even more funny is the fact that he's not even the last guy Morty kills in this episode.
Hey, Morty, remember when you said selling a gun was as bad as pulling the trigger? How do you feel about all these people that are getting killed today because of your choices?
Number 8. The Zygerians.
Sir, we have a situation over here.
If there's a wiener on that monitor, I swear to God, Stu.
When you've got something of value, people are gonna try to take it from you. Well, at least that's the lesson we learned from the Zygerians, with a name that is clearly a play on those Nigerian email scams. These aliens are out to get Rick's recipe for concentrated dark matter. Believing that they finally managed to trick him, the aliens celebrate by making a batch of the dark matter in front of everyone, and blow themselves up in the process. In an episode full of twists, the biggest surprise is that Rick gave them a recipe for a bomb instead. We thought Rick was being played, but the Zygerians were the true victims.
What happened back there?
Why don't you ask the smartest people in the universe, Jerry? Oh yeah, you can't. They blew up.
Number 7. Rick Sanchez and Morty Smith.
Oh, crap! What are we gonna do, Rick?
After our favorite mad scientist accidentally creates an epidemic of Cronenbergs, all hope seems lost. But Rick assures Morty that he's got one last trick up his sleeve, and it seems to work. The world gets back to normal, and we see the two finally working on Rick's new invention, only to be blown up in a horrific explosion.
And
just as we begin to process our shock, we see our Rick and Morty pop in. Morty, terrified at the scene, is forced to bury his own corpse and realizes that he's living with a family that technically isn't his own. This is Rick and Morty brand existentialism at its best. Sad, terrifying, and haunting to both Morty and us.
boy, Morty, I really Cronenberged the world up, didn't I? You got a whole planet of Cronenbergs walking around down there, Morty.
Number 6. Evil Rick.
Everybody relax. If I know these a-holes, and I am these a-holes, they just want to haul me to their stupid clubhouse and waste my time with a bunch of questions.
We'd call Rick a lot of things, but nice guy ain't one of them. Same thing goes for most of his alternate selves. Yet there are versions of Rick that are more evil than the one we know so well. Our Rick and Morty set out to stop evil Rick after he captures and murders many of the other dimension's Mortys. And they ultimately succeed, with an army of Mortys beating evil Rick to death.
Do your worst, you little bastards! Kill me! Do it! Do it!
Our relief is short-lived, however, because evil Rick is soon revealed to be a robot controlled by an evil Morty. We don't know why Evil Morty did it or where he is now, but we sure hope we see him again sometime.
And you know, it would go without saying that the Rickest Rick would have the Mortiest Morty.
Number 5. King Jellybean.
How are you today? I'm Mr. Jellybean.
This series dives into some very dark territory. Case in point, in the episode Me Seeks and Destroy, Morty's adventure just keeps getting worse. But when a friendly Jellybean tries to help him calm down, things seem to be looking up, until that Jellybean tries to rape him.
Stop fighting me! Just let this happen. Get off of me!
Thankfully, Morty escapes, but he's left exhausted and traumatized. Rick figures out what happened, but the two continue their adventure anyway, ultimately ending up in a village where the leader is the Jellybean. As our titular characters leave through a portal, Rick shoots the king, causing him to explode and causing us to cheer. For once, a Rick and Morty death that results in a happy ending.
Wobble gobble up ups! Right? See you next week, everybody.
Number 4. Alien Parasites. This is kinda cheating, but come on. You expect us to choose between Pencilvester and Sleepy Gary?
I think you should put down the gun and we should get you to a doctor.
In the episode Total Recall, an alien species invades the Smith home, multiplying by creating false memories in people's minds. We obviously know who's who, but then we didn't have our brains altered, did we? Fortunately, Morty manages to figure it all out, so he and Rick grab a veritable arsenal of weapons to take care of these pests. It's kick-ass to see the Smith family go all out, but also hilarious to see them remembering horrible things about their family.
Oh my god!
I thought you went to a concert!
We forgot the tickets!
Too bad this universe's Jerry didn't rise to the occasion to be part of the action, though.
I'm a parasite.
Yeah, but you're real.
Number 3. Fart.
Thank you, Morty. You are not like other carbon-based life forms.
Fart is a gaseous being that Morty saves from alien assassin Crumbopolis Michael, so named thanks to an insult once thrown at it by Rick.
Oh, good job, Morty. You killed my best customer, but you saved a mind-reading fart.
A powerful entity, Fart can piece together atoms to create any form of matter, including gold, and it can influence other entities.
I am no more valuable than life itself. However, I am able to alter the composition of atoms.
Morty questions his decision to save Fart throughout his journey, but ultimately leads him back to his portal. It's at this very moment that he discovers this thing intends to return and destroy all life. Heartbroken and realizing his mistake, Morty kills Fart, marking an important moment in the youngster's life.
I'm gonna miss you, Fart. I'm really sorry your name became Fart.
Number 2. Lighthouse Chief.
If you desire to kill me, I only ask you to do it quickly.
No such agenda, Chief.
When Rick plans an escape from the Purge planet, Morty is forced to listen to a terrible screenplay by the Lighthouse Chief, who doesn't take kindly to Morty's comments.
No, I'm sick of this. You bang on my door, you beg me to help you, I share something personal with you, and you take a giant shit on it.
Unable to take the pressure anymore, Morty pushes the Chief down a flight of stairs, killing him.
You like that? You want me to cut to 3 weeks earlier when you were alive?
As we've already seen, this isn't the first time that Morty has killed someone, but it is the first time he killed an innocent. To be honest, it's pretty surprising to see Morty like this, and it only gets worse, as he then goes on a bloody rampage. We gotta say, the possibility of this side of Morty resurfacing is a pretty terrible thought.
Wow, Morty, now you're getting into it. Never expected that out of you.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh my god, Morty, what did you do? You killed the Simpsons, Morty!
No, I didn't mean to!
Oh, God, look at the baby one! Oh my god, Morty! What the hell is that? Payback.
Grandpa Rick!
Duh.
Number 1, Bird Person.
Tammy, I was approaching infertility when I met you, but there is still time. I am yours until my death.
In case you haven't noticed, Rick's number 1 goal in life isn't to make friends. In fact, there are very few people that he truly cares about and considers buddies. But Bird Person is one of those lucky few. Rick and his old pal happen to be wanted by the Galactic Federation, making Bird Person's wedding to Tammy all the more risky. Unfortunately, because Bird Person lets his emotions blind him, he gets killed by his new lover.
Tammy, what are you doing?
Sit your bird ass down!
Tammy?
This is actually a heartbreaking death because Bird Person is such a passive character. And it's even harder to take because we see Rick lose it. Of course, this isn't the last we'll see of Rick's avian ally.
I am Phoenix Person.
Phoenix Person. Is that what we settled on? I thought we all agreed on Cyberbird.